People are like, who is DanielleVictor? And I'm like, bitch, it's Danny with 2 N's. Am I a fashion blogger? Maybe. Am I a storyteller? For sure. Am I a badass bitch? Absolutely. So if you're smart, you'll subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to my channel. It's gonna get annoying every video. I know someone's gonna be like, bitch. And I'm gonna be like, bitch, what? Sing with me or get the fuck off this fucking channel. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I wanted to do, well, first of all, I hope everyone's having a great day, great week, whatever. I wanted to come on this channel and I wanted to do a story time about why it's impossible or why you shouldn't hook up with your quote-unquote good friend, best friend, whatever of the opposite sex. Why no strings attached ends up bad even though it was great in the beginning. This is from my personal experience. I'm just gonna like take a stroll down memory lane. Why can't I ever speak, you guys? I'm gonna take a quick stroll down memory lane. First of all, focus on me, camera. What the fuck is up? Are we still blurry? Okay, good. Like, this camera is expensive. Can we focus on my face? Thanks. So anyways, when I was a teen, for anyone that doesn't know, me and Gabby's my twin, in case you guys didn't know I had a twin. If you're a new subscriber, she also has a YouTube channel, DanielleVictor. For anyone that doesn't know, we have an older brother. He's about 2.5, 3 years older. I'm not quite sure the exact years, but he's older. He was a basketball player, most popular kid growing up, always cool, always in the inner circle, yada, 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 yada. Me and Gabby were the complete opposite. I don't know why I'm yawning! Why? Anywho. I just got so tired. When he got to high school, my parents put him in Central Catholic High School, which is in Lawrence, Massachusetts. It's a private school. We wanted to go where Marquise was going, and obviously my parents wanted me and Gabby to go where Marquise was going because they wanted him to protect us. Because, you know, you need your older siblings when you're in high school and shit's about to hit the fan because you've just hit puberty, your breasts are now coming in, you're learning, like, what Pornhub is, and just shit is going down. So obviously they wanted us to be around Marquise. So Central Catholic was really expensive. Like, I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per child. So when we went, we promised our parents that we'd do track or cheerleading or whatever. Pfft. Knowing damn well that we weren't athletes, nor have we ever done athletic events or anything athletic, period, in our entire existence. But sure, Mom and Dad, we'll be sure to sign up for track once we get there. Now, Central Catholic was a Catholic school, which means you had to take religion class. And we had uniforms, yada, yada, yada. That's not how you say that. Yada, 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 yada. I just said it and I can't remember how I said it. Whatever. The point is, I'm gonna continue. We're gonna move past that. So, my mom is a probation officer now. So you can imagine what growing up with someone whose dream to be a probation officer was like. In the student handbook, it said you had to wear chinos, okay? Chinos. Do you guys know what chinos are? If not, take a second, Google it, and then come back to this video. Because no, Mom, we need to wear something else. Like, when I tell you my mom made us wear exactly what was in the student handbook, well, every single chick who's at in religion class learning about, you know, the 7 deadly sins, also sending a sexy note to the hot guy in the front of the classroom. Guess what they're not wearing? Guess what they're not wearing, Mom? They're not wearing chinos. They're not fucking wearing chinos. So I think after the first semester of school, like right before winter break, my parents realized, you know, the girls aren't doing anything. Mind you, we tried. I did like show up to track practice like once, and then I was like, I'm not doing this. Also, cheerleading at Central Catholic, you need to know like a double handspring, tumbling, toss, toss, toss. And I was like, yeah, I don't even know how to do a cartwheel. I can scream really loud, but that's as far as this shit is going. So that didn't fucking work out. So they were like, hey, we're gonna put you in Methuen High School, which is the town we lived in, because you aren't coming through with your promises and it's really expensive. And at that age, like, you're not gonna argue with your parents about where you're going to school. Because at the end of the day, like, I didn't really like Central Catholic, but I loved being close to my brother. So whatever, the next semester, what is going on with me? Why am I yawning? It's like anytime I film a video in front of these lights, I yawn 1,000 times. It's bizarre. What time is it? It's only 3:42. My body's acting like it's like fucking 9:42. Anyways, so we go to Methuen High. We're like nervous, but we can wear regular clothes. They have like, you know, public school. They have some type of dress code, but like not a strict dress code. Like we didn't have to wear chinos to school. So when we get to school, me and Gabby are put in separate classes because they, for some reason, don't want twins to be in the same fucking classes, which is so dumb to me. I don't understand that rule. Like, even when we were growing up, like in kindergarten and first grade, the teachers would call my parents and say, we can't have the twins together in class because they're just too much together. And it's like, fuck you. I want to cheat off my sister's test. Like, are you out of your mind? But they didn't care. Neither did Methuen High School. So we had separate schedules. We would pray that we would have the same like lunch block together, so at least we could eat like our tuna fish sandwiches or whatever my mom packed for lunch. But that rarely happened as well. So basically we're alone. Like, we don't know anyone at Methuen High. We didn't go to Methuen Middle School. It's not like we're like rolling with the same clique that we had in freaking 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going in here, we're just like brand new. So whatever, I have like this English class, and there was this guy named Nick in my English class. And he was cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I noticed him from across, like, you know, his desk was there, my desk was here, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see you. He was dating the most popular girl in school. Her name was Amanda. So we had English class together, and we ended up getting partnered up for like a project. And when we got partnered up, we realized like, yo, we have a lot in common. High school, I'm not really thinking much about it. I've only had sex with one person at this time. So I'm not really like, I'm not like a horny high school student. Like, I've only just recently had sex with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I've had sex with 2 people at this point. Right, 2 people. Nick was my 3rd person I've ever slept with, but we're getting to that. So, anyways, we got partnered up on a project. We got cool. English class. When I had school, I look forward to going to English class because I look forward to seeing, obviously, Nick. You know, girls, don't ever have a crush on someone as a girlfriend. It just never ends up well, okay? Besides the point. So, I end up going to this girl Lauren's house. She was having like a pre-party before a high school party, which like none of our parents knew about. So when I went, Nick was there, and like, of course we're flirting, blah blah blah. His girlfriend's nowhere to be seen. Bye, Amanda. And then we end up going to this party, and someone gave me a shot of 151. 151. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's Bacardi. It's literally death in a bottle. So I take a shot of this 151. And I'm like blackout status. Mind you, I'm in high school, I'm like 60 pounds. So me and him are in the bathroom together, and I had this white J-Lo, silver zip all the way up jumpsuit. I'll never forget it. I wish I had a picture so I could show you. I had this jumpsuit on, I had to go pee, and he was in the bathroom with me. He's like, no, it's fine, you can go pee. So I unzipped it, and I'm like, go and pee, blah, 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 blah. And when I stand up to zip my jumpsuit back up, mind you, my boobs are out. He's seeing like the whole show, blah, blah, blah. Somebody else walks into the bathroom and sees the whole shebang. So it just instantly looks like he's cheating. But he's not. I mean, he technically is getting a free show, but he didn't like touch my breast or like kiss me or anything. So he starts getting worried, like, oh my god, what if Amanda finds out? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Bacardi 51 starting to seep through my bloodstream, you know? So party is over, we continue school. Amanda's now being a bitch to me every time I walk down the hallway. I'm like, all right, you dumb bitch. But she was like one of those like white bitches that like grew up maybe like Not in a trailer park. Could have been a trailer park, but like one of those white bitches that you know has been scrapping since they were like 2 years old. So even if I wanted to talk shit to her, the bitch is she's gonna beat me up. So she used to like talk shit to me, and then she got overly aggressive with the PDA with Nick in the hallway anytime I walk by. I'm like, wow, can someone say insecurity? Mind you, I was not that cute in high school. So like if I made you jealous in high school, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. So whatever, time goes on, we end up having a math class together, me and Nick. So then we got paired up again for a project for math. So he comes over to my parents' house to do the math project. Time goes on, and like he's like, hey, like give me a full tour of your house. So we lived in like a duplex. It was 4 floors. The basement, which eventually became my bachelorette pad, the kitchen, living room, 3rd floor was my room, the bathroom, Marquise's room, Gabby's room, and then my parents' room on the 4th. So like I'm giving him the tour, and then we end up on the 4th floor. And when we end up in the 4th floor, we just happen to end up like naked and having sex in my parents' bed. Trash. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. Your daughter's trash. I had sex in your bed. Why? I don't know. Gross. So gross. So we ended up hooking up, whatever, but then it became like this constant thing. Like we were like literally, I wouldn't even call us like friends at this point, but we were like benefits. Like he lived literally right down the street from my house. So we would text each other, and whenever it was convenient, we would hook up. And I wasn't in love with him. I didn't want to be with him. I knew he had a girlfriend, whatever. And just so you guys can get like a picture of what he looks like, his nickname was Jesus. And he had like long, he's Italian, tall. I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3", in shape, really white teeth, like not veneers, because no one had veneers in high school, or at least I hope no one had veneers in high school, but he had really nice teeth, big lips. He had big ears, but his long hair covered the big ears. And I thought they called him Jesus because of his long hair and like his tan complexion skin, that he kind of if he wore all white like Jesus, he would look like Jesus. Come to find out, after I had sex with him, they called him Jesus because he had a hammer dick. Okay, a big ass dick, like a huge motherfucking dick. I'm like, oh, so that's why they call you Jesus, because you got blessed down there. The two don't really correlate with one another, but that's why they called him Jesus. I'm thinking more like Thor, and that's his hammer, but I mean, who am I? Like, no one listened to me in high school. So I just wanted you guys to get like that image in your head of like who I was hooking up with in high school. So I would say like 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months passed where we were hooking up with each other nonstop. And then somehow, some way, Amanda found out about it, and it was like the talk of the fucking school. Like everyone was talking about how I hooked up with him and how I did this and how I did that. It's always the woman's fault. It's never the man's fault. But again, it was my fault, and it was going around school, and there was nothing I can do about it. It was spreading like wildfire. So he was like walking down the hallway, and like some guy was talking to him, and he was like, I would never hook up with her. And my sister was walking behind him in her like one strap backpack. So she like ripped off her backpack, tapped him on the shoulder, and was like, I was there, you fucked my sister, whatever the fuck she said when she was mad in the moment. But he was shook, like scared. And mind you, I still have math class with him, so it's awkward as hell. Like awkward as hell. So whatever, that they break up, it cools down, we get back to hooking up, like nothing ever happened. Then he gets another girlfriend, her name was like Kristen, something with a K, maybe Caitlin. And the entire time he was with her, he was cheating on her with me as well. His nickname to me used to be Mistress. I was like his mistress, which is like the thing we had. Hey, sorry, my camera just died, so I had to switch out the bats. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so he nicknamed me the Mistress. So this went on for years and years and years. Then I got a new boyfriend, the one who abused me. Then I dropped out of college, moved to San Jose. And then as I was in San Jose, he like hit me up and was like, hey, are you still at UMass Amherst? And I was like, no, I'm in California. He's like, oh, well, I just transferred to your college. I'm at UMass Amherst now. So I ended up leaving California and going back to UMass Amherst. So when we were on campus together, we became like the ultimate best friends. And when I tell you, like, we were always cool. Like, we didn't, every time we saw each other, it's not like we hooked up. Like, we used to go get ice cream together, watch movies together. He would like ask me for advice on like what gifts to get his girlfriend, or what what position he should try in sex, or what should he do to spice things up. And not every single time we saw each other was it like, get naked, let's do this, we're fucking. You know what I'm saying? It was like, we were friends. Like, he knew my family, my sister knew him, my mom knew him, my dad knew him. He could come over whenever he wanted. He'd come over, have dinner, we'd have dessert, we'd study together. And then when we got to college, it was like the same exact thing. We'd go to parties together, and if he did his thing, he did his thing, or we'd leave together. Sometimes I'd go to his apartment and we wouldn't hook up, we would just hang out. Sometimes I go to his apartment and we would hook up. Sometimes I'd sleep over, sometimes I didn't. It all really depended on both of our moods. It was never weird, it was never awkward. It was like this good thing that we had, and it was safe and it was comfortable. And like, we made this pact one night. We went to CVS and I got a Butterfinger, one of those Butterfinger ice cream pops, and I think he got like a Twix. We were sitting at my kitchen counter and he's like, hey, if we're both single at 28, we should just get married and, you know, have a baby together. And I was like, okay, yeah, bet. Mind you, we're like 22 at the time. Like, I'm not thinking about 28. Little do I know I'm 31 now, and 28 just flew by. But I just lost my train of thought because I was thinking about that night. And we didn't even hook up that night. He literally took me out, brought me to get ice cream. We ate the ice cream at my house, and then he went home. So when we got to college, I think there was like a point in time where he started to like have feelings for me, but I didn't have feelings for him. So it got a little weird, but then we got past it. But then I started to get feelings for him, and he didn't have feelings for me, and it got a little weird, and again, we got past it. But still, once you get to those points where like, he had feelings or you had feelings, and now like this friends with benefit is becoming a complicated situation, it changes. And I know a lot of people don't want to admit that it changes or that it can change, but it changes. So I remember we had like this pact that if I was ever talking to a dub, and when I mean dub, I mean someone that's like not good looking, and I know that we shouldn't judge people off our looks, but we were young, we were fucking kids. He would come up and like say, hey, I'm gonna buy you a drink. Or if he was talking to a dub, I would go up to him and say, hey, I'm gonna buy you a drink. So we're from the same town, and you know when you go home for like Thanksgiving, everyone goes to like the local bar, and it's like a goddamn high school reunion. Well, we went, and he was there, and I was there, and I'm thinking like, we're still friends, we're still cool. And he's talking to this chick who I think is a dub. And it wasn't because I wanted to be with him or that I had feelings for him. I was just like, whoa, no, Nick, I don't know if you're fucked up, you drank a little too much like spiked eggnog, but like, let me go save him. So I walked in between him and the chick, and I go, hey Nick, can you buy me a drink? And he was like, right now? I said, yeah, right now. He was like, are you serious? I said, yeah. I said, no. I said, yeah, buy me a drink. So he ends up buying me a drink. We go to the bar, and he goes, don't ever fucking do that again. And he's never sworn at me ever in life. And I thought maybe it was the alcohol, so I was like, whatever. And I go, excuse me? He's like, don't ever fucking do that again. I go, I thought that was our pact, like that was our thing. So he continued the night by like avoiding me. I avoided him. I went home. The next morning, like in the afternoon, he sent me like a text that was super mean, and he was dropping F-bombs in the text. And I was like, okay, he's definitely not still drunk. He's just being a dick. So I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. We never spoke again. Like, ever again. Like, not a conversation to address what happened, not a text, not a call. We never hung out, we never slept together. He never came to the crib ever again. I never went to his crib ever again. We never went to go get ice cream. We never said, hey, like, we never even verbally said out loud, we're never gonna be friends again. We just never spoke to each other ever again. Ever again. And then years went on and life continued, you know, like I heard he was like in a serious relationship, blah, 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 blah. Didn't talk to him, never saw him out, never saw him on like Thanksgiving at the bars. It was like we just never saw each other again. Like the last time I saw Nick was at the bar when I was trying to save him from a dub. Straight up. So years go by, I start working at clubs in Boston, never saw him in there, yada, yada, yada. That's how you say it. Got it. Came back to me now. And then I hear like he's engaged, then I hear he's married, and it's like now I'm in LA. It's been like years since we've had a conversation, since that night at the bar. So I did like this thing way back in the day on my YouTube called To All the Boys I Loved Before After the Movie, because I loved it so much, and I like I only wrote 2 letters to boys I loved before, and I read the letters on YouTube. And he added me on Snap a day or two after I posted my letter to him. And he said, hey, I saw your YouTube video. I want to let you know I miss you too. And then deleted me. So I couldn't even respond back to him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. That was weird. But it's funny because he's married now. Probably, I don't even know, he might have children. I don't really check on him. I don't really look into what's going on in his life. I know that he's married. I know he's been married for, I think, quite some time, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, but he's been with that girl for 7 or 8. Because right after me and him had a falling out, I think he got with the woman he's married to now. And that might be also he was just trying to be loyal and he doesn't trust himself around me. I don't know. There could be a million reasons, but me and him never had a conversation as to why we weren't friends. I always thought I'd go to his wedding. I always thought I'd be at his baby shower. I always thought even if we never had sex again, we would be able to crack a fucking Smirnoff Twist, even though I would never drink those ever in my life, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and talk about our lives around a bonfire at a beach. I never thought that because of one night at a bar where I was trying to save him from a dub, we would never be friends ever again. I feel like that's something more along the lines that he was fighting with internally, or whatever issues he had with me, but I couldn't even tell you what they were because he's never told me, because we've never even had a conversation about why we stopped being friends. This dude was he's the third person I ever had sex with, and that was when I was 16. I was 16 when I had sex with him. And then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He was in my life for damn near almost a decade. 8 fucking years. So I never for 1 second thought we wouldn't be friends. But this is why I want to make this video, because I was thinking about how people are oh, well, I'm hooking up with this guy. We're just friends with benefits and this and that. And I'm it doesn't work. It never works. That dude was my friend. Did it get a little weird sometimes? Did it get a little complicated? Yeah, but we always came back as friends. And now we didn't even say goodbye to each other. It's not we ever said, yo, life is continuing in a path that none of us predicted and we're not going to be able to be friends. We just never had that conversation. We just had this weird moment at a bar, and then that was it. That was the end of the story. That was an end of a friendship. And yeah, that's it pretty much. So anyways, I just want to say, girls, be smart. Don't lose. If I could go back in time and have never hooked up with him and just been friends with him, I would have loved to do that. But even at that, I feel maybe at some point, even if we took the sex out of it, and sex was fun with him. I mean, it was sometimes we didn't take it seriously. Sometimes we had great sex. Sometimes we had horrible sex. It really just all depended on what mood either one of us was in. But I feel even if we did take the sex out at some point, we would have probably had this weird, silent separation from each other, because when you get older, it's harder for men and women to be friends. And I'm sure his wife is not going to be cool with him being friends with someone he used to smash and cheat on all his girlfriends with. So I guess it makes sense. But it's still, to this day, I was talking to my friend about it. I was I can never wrap my head around. I can't even pinpoint how me and him never actually had a conversation after that night. It was just our friendship was over. Weird. It was so weird. Anyways, Nick, if you're watching this, because I don't know if you're still on my channel, I wish you nothing but the best. I think of you often, not all the time, and I wish we were still friends. Maybe one day when we're older and both married and both loyal, we can crack that Mike Hard Lemonade and you could tell me all about the fucking past decade that I haven't seen you. Anyways, guys, be smart. Don't hook up with your guy friends, especially if you want to be guy friends with them in the future. yeah, it's not worth it. And plus, you've seen No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits. It's like they both ended up together, which is a fucking rare situation. But it's for movie purposes, obviously. But in real life, those two fucking movies would have been like they hate each other and they never spoke again, because that's usually what happens. So be smart. Don't hook up with your friends, okay? It's not what they're there for. They're there to help you cry about the dude that you just hooked up with, wipe your tears away, and fucking eat pizza with you on the couch. Not, you know, lick the pizza off your nipples. Let's be smart here, people, okay? Don't be me and Nick. Me and Nick should have never hooked up, because then maybe we'd still be friends. I don't know. Anyways, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but as I always say, if you're giving it a thumbs down, you probably shouldn't be on this channel. But if you like what you heard and you like me, don't forget to give this subscribe button up in the corner a little click. If you haven't already subscribed, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their friends to subscribe to my channel. I'm at 88,000. I'm one step closer to 1 million, baby. I can feel it. So join me and have your friends join me and have your mom and your dad and your sisters and your brothers and your cousins join me too. And follow me on Instagram, XXO Danielle and Swallow It Podcast. Don't forget to go to Amazon and buy my book, Don't Be That Bitch. And don't be that bitch hooking up with your guy friends or your girlfriends or whatever. Okay? Be smart. Do you want this person to be in your life forever? If so, keep their dick out of your vagina. You're welcome. I love you guys to the moon and back. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Until next time. Bye.